Right, boys, an impromptu one here. Been a while since we've done a announcement reaction live, but we've had The Last Dance announced tonight, and it's not Michael Jordan. Don't worry, Netflix haven't renewed for a second series. It's Derek Chisora against Otto
Is that
Wallin.
not false advertising though? Should it not be called
yeah.
a little move
Should
around before The Last Dance? We know he's got 2 fights left, so it's not.
Yeah, he said he's getting to 50. Me and Liam were just talking about that. Yeah.
The penultimate Last Dance.
Yeah, no, it's The Last Dance, but 3. It's meant to be Jarrell Miller, but he's going through some stuff with Dimitri Salita. We discussed that last night. So yeah, I guess I'll come to both of you for your thoughts on the fight. And obviously you've got Willie Hutchinson against Zach Parker, which is a decent fight as the it's a very good fight actually as the chief support. So yeah, what do we think, Chisora Wallin?
Someone I put a post out saying it's good to see Chisora is going to get his UK swan song because we know he's getting to 50 regardless of where he does it. And someone commented saying, "Now we don't need to see this. Del Boy shouldn't be fighting." And I can completely understand that argument, but I will say this: I'm more happy to see it announced being Otto Wallin than I was when Deontay Wilder was being talked about, when Jarrell Miller looked like a front runner until the start of this week. Chisora at this point is having fun fights. The people will come out to watch him, and he knows he's not himself saying, "I'm going to win this fight and then I deserve to be fighting Usyk or Fury or Dubois or whoever's got the belts." He is just having fun fights now. He's sort of leaving behind all the crazy shit he's done over the years. He's just being whatever he is as a person, giving the people what they want and having fun at the end of his career. And yes, okay, there's always a risk a boxer could get hurt in a fight, but this is the perfect level of fight for him. Otto Wallin has dined out on that one performance in Vegas against Tyson Fury since 2018 now. Me and Jay were talking about this earlier. He's literally dined out on it. That's how he ended up with the AJ fight. That's how he's ended up in other positions. If we're really honest, Tyson Fury doesn't get cut. He runs rings round him, and he probably loses the fight quite wide. I mean, the scorecards weren't even that close with how bad a mess Fury's face was. Mm-hmm. So it's a limited opponent for this, Derek Chisora 6.0 or whatever he is at this point in his career, but it's inconsequential. It's a fun fight. I went to his fight against Joyce and enjoyed it. The crowd probably thought that was his last night. I said on here afterwards, I hoped it was his last night, but look, if you're going to get angry over Derek Chisora having a fight, there's more in boxing to be annoyed about than this, isn't there, really? Take it for what it is.
He deserves it, man. Look, Derek's done a lot for British boxing, and not enough gets spoke about. Derek Chisora's done a lot for British boxing. He's been in a lot of big fights. I remember my internet was down. I remember streaming David A versus Chisora, sat in the back of my van, streaming. That was a massive fight. He's done a lot for British boxing. He's brought a lot to the sport. He's brought a lot of eyes to the sport. It's a fight of the right magnitude. It's a fight of similar
Wallin
levels.
Hasn't looked good, has he? AJ battered him in 4 or 5 rounds.
Wallin's useless. Wallin peaked when he cut Fury, and as Liam said, that's what we know him for. That's what we know him for. It could have stopped him, but it didn't. You lost. And then you lost against
Gassiev
AJ.
As well.
So
He was an elite cruiserweight.
It's the fight of the right levels, but it's good. It's clever marketing. A lot of people have heard of Otto Wallin. It'll sell good. There's some decent fights on the undercard. Derek Chisora deserves a couple of nice paydays. Not that hard fights, but fights as such. Winnable fights. Because no one expected him to win his last fight, really. Even though, Joe had not looked good. But he wasn't expected to do what he did, so he deserves to go out with a couple of nice paydays, maybe have his last one in Zimbabwe or somewhere like that. But for me, it's not a fight I was screaming for. It's not a fight I thought I were going to see, but I'll watch it. We're talking to Hawkan earlier. I might even go, so I can say that I went to one of his last fights. I've seen him a couple of times live. I've met him a couple of times. He's off key. He's as mad as a box of frogs. But he's great to watch. He's barely in boring fights, really. So good luck to him. I'm looking forward to it, to be honest.
Mate, you've just hit the nail on the head there. So I was at his fight against Joyce, and it was a fantastic atmosphere, very pro Chisora crowd. I'm considering a trip up to Manchester for this one as well, because if it is Del's last dance full stop or last dance in the UK, it's going to be a good fight. He's not in think the last time Derek Chisora was in a boring fight, you can't. Well, was Sened Gashi, wasn't it, on the O2, that weird night where Dave Allen knocked out.
I'll never forget his fight
Lucas
with Cabiel in Monaco.
Or fights like that. But you're going back 7-8 years now. Everything Chisora has done in the last 7-8 years has been entertaining. Okay, we didn't need to see him in against Fury for the third time. That was a dance that no one, not even flipping Fury, wanted to have. But
that was a payday for a mate, that was.
Yeah, but look, everything, like you say, Jay, everything Derek has done, the perception the British public have had of him over the years has changed. He's got fans on his side, and it's just going to be a celebration of Derek Chisora for the night. He should be Otto Wallin. It's a more winnable fight for him than Gerald Miller was, absolutely, 100%. But it'll be fun, and it's a good undercard. Zach Parker and Willie Hutchinson. Willie's got to bounce back after, all his trash talk, as we kind of, the three of us said. He got his face smashed in by Boazzi. We said his trash talk wouldn't cash out in the same way against Craig Richards. Zach Parker, he's established at 175 now. Obviously, he was WBO interim, wasn't he, down at 168, and then got injured in the John Ryder fight. So we ended up. We ended up.
White here for Raymond Mallon. Thanks for joining us, Raymond.
So, it's a good card. It's one of, I reckon it will be Frank's last but one on TNT as well. So he's going to try and finish with a bang, isn't he, before the DAZN move comes in April next year. So, look, there'll be some more fun fights announced. He's got a lot of local Manchester fighters as well that will put on the card.
Nathan Heaney's on the card as well, I saw.
Yeah, Heaney's making his comeback. So there you go. You get the Stokies coming across to Manchester again. It will be a fun card. And if it's their first one in the UK for 2025, it's one to look forward to, isn't it?
Definitely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I am as well. I honestly think at this point, Jarrell Miller would have put a bit of a beating on Chisora. I can't lie about it. I thought Miller actually looked all right against Andy Ruiz back on the Crawford Madrimov card in August. So I wasn't really clambering to see Jarrell Miller, a man that I can't really stand, put a beating on a British boxing legend like Chisora. So I'm happy enough with Wallin. Like Jay said, I think he's pretty limited in what he brings. He's got a few decent wins. Murat Gassiev, I know he hasn't really done much at heavyweight, but he was an elite cruiserweight. He was an amazing cruiserweight, but unlike Usyk, he hasn't transferred that up to heavyweight. I don't know if it's a lack of discipline or he hasn't carried the weight up properly. But
I think Wallin's good enough for it not to be sort of a gimme for Del Boy.
Laura looks gassed after like 3 rounds every fight now, and he just wings punches in, doesn't
he? Yeah, but I think it'll be close for 2 or 3 rounds, and then Derek will just sit on his chest, and I think it's just a battle of wills then, isn't it? And I think Derek's got enough left to be able to potentially get Wallin out of there if he just goes all out.
Yeah, look, if Del connects on Wallin, I don't think he's taking it, to be honest with you. I really don't. Although he took quite a few decent shots off AJ and never went down. Fury didn't stop him. I think he's tough enough, the Swede. But yeah.
Look, he'll get through rounds. It'll be a 10 rounds main event again, because that's what Chisora Joyce was, although they kept that quiet last time. I think they'll be a bit more upfront with it this time, and there's nothing wrong with that. It will be a good 10 rounds. Like you say, mate, Chisora looks gassed after 6 minutes of fighting now, but that doesn't stop him just standing there.
I love it, though. That's when you're getting the good stuff coming.
Also, Wallin doesn't have any head movement, similar to Joe Joyce. He'll be there as a target in front of Del all night. So you're going to get a good fight. Whether Chisora ends up going out on his back, whether it goes 10 rounds and someone wins it on points, it's going to be entertaining. And that's what us as fight fans want. No one wants to be seeing crap fights with half-empty arenas, with, we're doing what we done on Friday night, talking about anything but what's in front of us. You want a good fight, and that's what you're going to get with Chisora.
100%. Yeah, most definitely. So February the 8th is the date. The Last Dance is the name. It's not going to be the official Last Dance, but definitely his last UK dance by the sounds of it. Derek Chisora versus Otto Wallin. Parker versus Willie Hutchinson as the chief support, which is going to be a good card. Nathan Heaney on there as well. A few other Queensbury prospects. No doubt we're going to get more additions to the card as well. So, solid start to the year for Queensbury. Hopefully we get some cards in January to get stuck into as well. hearing that Lewis Crocker and Paddy Donovan's going to happen on the 1st of March, a report earlier. So, yes, should hopefully be a strong start, boys. But I think that'll do it for Chisora versus Wallin. Big up to Jay and Liam, as always, for chatting to me about the card. Raymond Mallon joined us for a bit of Chisora White 3 action. So, thanks for joining, Raymond. And, we'll be back we've got plenty on for the rest of the week. PFL Friday night. Brendan Loughnane. We're going to cover the Birmingham card on Saturday, and we'll take it from there. Thanks, boys.
All
See
good,
you soon.
pleasure.